You guys got windshields too, so like when at the TT bug, when we're going across the lake bed, when we're clicking over 100, your helmet starts to shake, a little bit of blurry vision, and then you add bumps in there. It's just madness.
Ever since the penny, bro, and you drove home with the goggles on, I don't think you've had a windshield since.
I've taken a test drive with you and this, and I don't understand how you can keep your eyes up. I'm just like blowing back, and Blake's
this thing only goes 69 miles.
Not this one. 69, yeah.
Yeah, so for the guy with the back issues, what's up with this car? when are you giving this up?
King suspension. Chronic back issues.
They have great surgery.
Probably when I'm taller than him.
I don't know, man. It's so fun though. Like
this thing's like a chiropractor for like 4 or 5 hours.
When are you gonna stop riding 110s? When are you gonna stop riding 70s with no suspension? Never. We're just gonna deal with it and just like kind of complain.
All right, welcome back to the Industry Podcast. My name is Doug. We're doing something a little bit different here today. We're in the Shark Den, Wilkey's Shark Den, and we have the whole team of guys that work in this shop as well. Would you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves? We can start with you down there.
I'm Caleb. Most of you might know me as Darnell Designs on Instagram, and I kind of just work wherever I'm needed here, and we all have a special talent, and we're all good at something, and we try to stick to that.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, Caleb.
Hey, Caleb.
I didn't even know you were Darnell Designs, so that's good. I'll sit here and learn too.
Try to clear it up, you know?
Yeah.
I'm Matt Darby. I have the white rain gutter. I've been working with Kev for a long time, just kind of helping out wherever he needs extra help. But, you know, always here to support the team whenever they need help also.
And he's got beautiful hair.
Oh, Jesus.
Are you growing yours that long?
That's a funny thing, too.
It won't grow that long.
Yeah, Kevin here with long hair. This guy.
Well,
Wilkey's probably is that long. It's just curly.
Oh, dude, it gets any longer, it just turns into dreads, and it just self-sheds.
And then before I came up here, me and Darby actually had a shop where Blake and Kevin and Garrett used to be.
Yeah. So we had that spot for about 2 years. We were working there for a while together, and you know, we just transitioned out to something a little more practical because
so rent prices are a little steep.
That and like why you need 6 guys to do the chefing. You know, we got some chefs over here that are pretty good at it. You know, let's let them do their expertise.
My turn?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I'm Garrett, Corrosive Design, and I am just renting a bay out of this building right here out from Mr. Blake himself and trying to stay out of his way.
You're doing fine. Doing fine.
Yeah. And I'm just full speed on pretty much anything and everything that comes in the doors, anything from mild to wild. Nothing really special about anything I do, just
come on,
making it happen.
Yeah, before we get to Kevin, what do you guys do with your brands, with your companies?
Everything.
Yeah.
Is it just all custom builds? Do you do maintenance on vehicles?
No, we try to stick to custom fabrication. So anything from like pre-runner bumpers to rock sliders to roll cages, 4-link suspension, I-beams, A-arms. There's really nothing that we can't handle between all the heads in here, you know?
We just like to be a little different, add a little pizzazz to everything.
I'm doing a full build on a 240Z, so we're doing a race car for my buddy, and then there's like a 75 Bronco we're going to do a full send on, you know, so it's just basically whatever the people that we want to engage with want to build. It's like, you know, it's not for everyone, but it's for the people that we want to take care of, that we can justify, you know, it's a labor of love. It's going to be a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and a lot of long nights, but if it's your homies and it's your friends and it's just one of those things where, all right, you got a project, I guess we got a project.
Yeah.
Yep. And the cool part is like when someone does bring a job or a project to this shop, saying I don't know how to do that or something, one of us does. So someone's going to be able to handle that job for sure.
Sometimes it's Google that helps out.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone in here will handle it no matter what. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Kevin.
What's up? My name is Kevin QMS on Instagram. I am a CAD designer, TIG welder, chassis fabricator, suspension designer. I do all the off-road stuff and things, and been doing it for over a decade now, designing my own parts, building them, smashing them. Partner Blake here, we built the TT Bug together. It's a fully CAD designed car, laser cut, precision bent, all the plate work and arms and stuff, and TIG welded in-house, and we got that thing built in just over a year with just us and the boys, so it was a pretty cool accomplishment.
And now moving on to
Now we're,
TT2.
almost finishing up number 2,
Yeah.
so that's exciting as well.
That one's like a week out from powder coat.
Kevin, you forgot to tell everybody you're a wizard.
Wizard.
He's a wizard.
Yeah. I don't know if he
Some
likes it
things
or
don't
not, but I call him Steve Aoki of off-road.
He looks
I
like
don't really know if that applies, but
Hey, he comes out sometimes.
When in
the music's
Rome.
playing.
Yeah. He's super good at like all the geometry. He knows the front end, the specifics on camber caster, and just like all the super scientific stuff behind making the geometry work
Properly.
for itself, like, and not like stress anything out, cycle properly. And there's just nothing that's really gonna,
Phase him.
yeah, he's just gonna make sure it works right. There's no cutting corners. He's like, no, that's not right. We're gonna
He's
do it right.
definitely a step above all of us.
It's
Can
funny
you just
too.
learn that from trial and error? How?
I learned to build from doing it by hand over the years, and then I was able to apply that into the computer scene, like just taking the real world knowledge and figuring out how to adapt it into a program is a little challenging. And it's still something I'm always learning and always progressing with. The more I do it, so.
12 years ago, he was like, I want to teach myself SolidWorks. I was like, what? So he got a computer, and then all of a sudden he has like TTs that he's drawing. I'm like, are you fucking
Yeah.
bro?
Is this
Like, what? Like, he's like, yeah, I just decided to do this one
That's
day.
the other thing. We've all known each other for probably almost 10 years.
Yeah, so
At
watching
least.
it come from nothing, started from the dirt, and now we're sitting here
It's cool
in
to
the
see your
shop.
friends all go up in their life.
Everyone's like, yo, I'm going to go kill
I
it.
met Kevin when I was straight out of the fab school. I didn't know anything. And Kevin was like, this kid's a
I still didn't know anything back then either.
This kid's a kid. And it was good that he did because it taught me a lot. And now we're back here and there's no like having to teach each other. It's just like learning different things that somebody else is better at and perfecting all of our skills together. And,
It's just practice now.
It's like a dream
Yeah.
come true for most of us.
Yeah,
Can you get
about,
Darnell up on the mic?
about 4 or 5 years ago, I was like,
Sorry.
dude, I want to do my own shop. Like, I want to kind of apprentice under someone. Who do you think I should, apprentice under? And Kevin was like, who the fuck do you think? Like, bro. I was like, dude, I'm down. Like, I'm not trying to get in your way or anything, but, I see the way you do things. I want to make sure I'm as precise as that. I want to make sure that I can, not be stranded in the middle of the desert. That's always nice, right? We've all been stuck where you have to walk back to camp or something. You're like, dude, this sucks.
Oh yeah, plenty of times.
This
I love
sucks.
those walks,
Push
dude.
your bike back to camp or anything. Like, sorry for when you're a Grom, and it's
good
just like,
thinking time.
all right, the preventative maintenance, the methodical nature, and all the making sure is really like, what you do to win races. You make sure. It's not like I hope, hopes and dreams will get you there, but you need to make sure you're going to get across the finish line.
Or at least have the best equipment to do so.
Yeah, you didn't slag, you didn't cut corners. You're like, oh man, I wish I didn't cut that corner.
Yeah. And it's progressed. Like there's, probably everything in this shop has some sort of twist to it that he's put on it. Whether it's the beams or links or full builds. Yeah, he's a stud.
It's cool to have your buddies making the good parts, and it's like keeping the money in the homies' hands, keeping it in the program, and it's all consistent. So if something is, going through something, and you're like, I want my truck to do that, I know I could just get those parts, and I'm gonna be able to smash those whoops.
Are you talking about what happened last night, basically?
Yeah, we decided to put ram steering on the truck all of a sudden.
Like 9 o'clock at night.
We got done at midnight.
I was like, really? Like that? That's how we do? He's like, yeah, we'll just finish it in the morning. So now we're basically done. He just ported the box, and we're just going to reassemble it and put fluid in it, and it's like noon.
Yeah.
Yeah, when do you guys sleep? All I see on the Instagrams is
What is sleep
middle
exactly?
of the night, all day long.
I mean,
Yeah.
8 hours is more than enough.
I mean,
Sleep
you've seen
what?
it. It was like herding
3 or 4
cats,
is good.
dude. Like it was like everybody was doing something. You're like 5 minutes, and here we are, like an hour later, like all sitting down.
Yeah, it seems pretty efficient.
Yeah, 'cause
Sometimes
I mean,
it's like
we-
shifts too. You can like get the night shift guys. These two will stay up late. I'll come in early, and then I'll
We'll
stay
look
late
around. It's like 4 in the
sometimes.
afternoon. Where did Garrett go? He'll come back an hour and a half later. He has lunch. I was like, "Are you just taking a nap in your truck?" No, not really. But yeah, it's like you just got to clock out sometimes and clock back in when the parts show up.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like you guys are always on a deadline, though, right? There's always a date that you're trying to beat with something.
Yeah, we're always late.
Yeah,
Yeah,
never
that's
made a
always
deadline
late.
yet.
Well, not late, but we like to feel like we're late, so we're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard though. Like everything in here is like custom. It's like he made a statement the other day. It's like it's not production. It's you're inventing it. You're having to visualize it. You're having to imagine it, and you're having to build it. And aside from the second TT bug, like everything else in here is so vastly different with just different layouts of tubes. Some stuff already comes in that has to be reworked. So like you're working around what people have already built. So it's not it's not easy. It's always different and evolving and changing for these guys. So it makes it a challenge all the way around.
Yeah, when you encounter a vehicle like that already has things a certain way and you want to do it, you're like, oh, I don't really like it that way. So you end up having to cut out tubes and redo.
I don't know anything about that.
Oh my god, that black truck over
That's
there.
totally my fault. I took that one on. Took way too big of a bite out of that one.
It's more of a restoration than a build.
You can't let things leave here subpar. It's got your name on it, and now there's a baseline on.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the cool thing about this is everyone's baseline in quality has gone up. Everyone's knowledge has gone up. So now, like, the baseline everywhere is going to have to be at least this good. And if he sees something that's subpar, it would be a disservice to himself, the industry, the homies. About the time he's like, I was going to do that, but I didn't want to charge you an extra $500. And then it was, and you're like, cool, now it's going to cost everything. Yeah. You know, now we know better. You know, you see something, you say something. You know, you can't just let your boy go out there and, you know, go balls to the wall with something subpar.
Yeah, and it's not like you're trying to get rich or anything off it. You're just doing it for safety.
You're
and
usually losing money.
Yeah.
Because inventing you don't get paid for.
Yes.
R&D the first time, and the second time it doesn't work right, sitting there convincing them that, you know, this is what's best for them, and then you feel like, all right, now I have to go above and beyond in order to make sure that they understand that I'm really going hard for them, and, you know, then they're out there smashing like, this is amazing. Yeah, I'm glad you think so.
Yeah, that's like my 10 years of crashing my shit in order to figure that out. So you're welcome.
Hey, we're gonna start selling.
I'm sure me and Kevin can say too. Like even if you do it on the computer's not always right. Well, we're not always right. So sometimes it is trial and error. We have to eat that, you know. So that makes it hard.
But it's better this than a cubicle.
Oh, yeah.
Selling
This is just a
insurance
big
for
shark
AAA or
cubicle.
something. The shred quarters.
Shark Cube.
Why would you use AAA as a reference, Darby?
I mean,
It's his biggest sponsor.
they've been good to me. I just feel like, you know, I have to give a shout out to AAA, my biggest sponsor. You guys always got my back. You always make sure I'm taken care of, and you send that check quick. Thank you.
He's got the extra gold card.
I'm an insurancepreneur.
You ain't lying, dude.
Make sure you got full coverage on everything. If you have 8 cars, one of them's bound to crash, and make sure you put the best parts on them because they're about to pay you.
Is that on speed dial for you?
Oh, dude, I have my own
Once a year.
person there. I have my own agent.
Let's see your recent
Tom, I
calls.
appreciate
He
you.
just calls
get out your
himself
phone,
and he
recent
writes it up
calls.
for himself.
Oh yeah, I got a laundry list of all my cars with full coverage from AAA. They do great. They cover you.
How much is your insurance a month?
$2,100 a year.
But
for
he has
5 cars.
15 cars.
5 cars. That truck right there is full coverage. It's smog legal, everything. My last truck, you know, I rolled it within 100 feet of Gecko Road. It was full coverage. They gave me $18,000 for a single cab Toyota. AAA, you're the shit.
All because you saw my tits.
Cut all this. Yeah. Down the road,
Well, it was the windmill first,
right?
and then he didn't go fast enough and did another lap. I was like, this will get him.
I got the video of the truck crashing, so we can put that in right now.
Were you in the
my
Tiger
cheeks
King
already
attire
hurt.
that time too?
Nope, just a regular
That was before
old,
Tiger King. That was
just a regular old
2016,
booty shorts and a tank
2017.
top.
Oh, good old days.
30 minutes off the trailer, went smashing.
Was that corrosive designer?
First time out the season.
Yeah, corrosive designer. That's good.
So yeah,
Yeah, now
Trucks
look what you
break,
got there.
we fix them.
I think
Yeah.
it's beautiful.
Yeah, both of them. As soon as it happens, dude, we'll help you fix your truck. If you want to build another truck, we'll help you build another truck. Well, he's like, just buy something built already. I was like, but they already said they'd help me. Here we are 7 years later with the raddest truck that you couldn't have bought anywhere, and I didn't have the money to buy that truck up front. So, you know, though it's the most amazing advice that I give to every single person about to build a truck or build anything, I'm like, hey, just buy one built, because then you can just fine tune it, and then you could drive for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
People are like, you must love off-road. And I like buying parts. That's what I did for the last 5 years. I bought parts. I love buying parts. I have the greatest hookups. Thanks to all my parts hookups, all my sponsors, Shreddy, Quixotic, Corrosive, Darnell Designs, all you guys, thank you.
How many years?
7.
7. Oh, okay. I was gonna say
16,
I'm like
I mean-
around 7 or 8 on
Yeah, I was
mine.
gonna say mine's been sitting
Well,
for 7 years
after
too.
we did the front end, I was like, Kevin, we have to completely redo the front end because now the back end is so much cooler than the front. I need your front end also.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say at least
The
they didn't have
snowball.
to buy yours 3 times.
Yeah.
Shit. I was like, oh, that's the wrong part.
Or
Here's the wrong
build
part.
it 3 times either.
Yeah,
The life of off-roading, man.
yeah, because we wanted to drive fast and
And
sand.
that's a real common thing in like the off-road scene. You know, it takes a long time to build these vehicles, especially at the level that we're doing them at. And it can be drawn out over 7-8 years, just like this yellow truck here I'm working on. Like we started this thing 7 years ago, And Garrett actually started it longer than that ago. I think
It's going on like 8 or 9.
probably 8 or 9 years. This thing's
Damn.
been in the works, and now it's finally here for
Decade.
its last push to get running and everything plugged
We like
up.
started really smart on it though. I did like a simple link suspension in the back and some crappy front suspension. At least he was keeping it in the dirt like through the first 2
Yeah,
phases, and then it just got like real snowball after that, and just he's like cut it up.
Well, how many people have the high fives or the 6 figures to just build something outright? You know,
Yeah.
a lot of people
Not
don't end up
many.
with a vehicle in that figure for their whole life and wouldn't think of doing it. So to be able to put something together like that in less than 10 years, how many people are like, I want to have a $100,000 car in 10 years? That's not really feasible, but with the right team and the right hookups, you can have something that's damn near there. It's not going to be a Mason. It's not going to be Andy McMillan's race truck, but at the same time, you're going to be able to do damn near what they can do. Oh, they can go 120 and you can go 90? Ugh, sorry, bud.
Dude, 90's real fast.
Yeah,
90's really
90's
fast in
pretty
the
quick.
dirt.
It's real
Depends on what you go through.
Those poles start going by real fast. Oh, start puckering. Oh, okay, you're floating now.
Yeah.
All right.
I think you start losing the field like feedback at like 60 something. You're like, okay, now we're just kind of
Skating.
Listing lazily to the left. Like, okay, we're just going this way now. Okay. Oh, okay.
You guys got windshields too, so like when with the TT bug, when we're going across the lake bed, when we're clicking over 100, your helmet starts to shake, you get a little bit of blurry vision, and
Well,
then you
ever
add
since,
bumps in there. It's just madness.
Ever since the penny, bro, and you drove home with the goggles on, I don't think you've had a windshield since.
I've taken a
Haven't
test
had a
drive
windshield
with,
since.
I've taken a test drive with you and this, and I don't understand how you can keep your eyes open. I'm just like blowing back, and Blake's
This
just
thing only goes 60
Terrifying.
miles.
not this one.
69, yeah.
Yeah, so for the guy with the back issues, what's up with this car? when are you giving this up?
You
suspension.
have chronic back issues.
They have great surgery.
probably when I'm taller than him.
I don't know, man. It's so fun though. Like
This thing's like a chiropractor for like four or 5 hours.
When are you going to stop riding
Smacks it
110s? When are you going to stop riding 70s with no suspension? Never. We're just going to
yeah.
deal with it and just like kind of complain.
I feel like this is like, you know, when you're in high school and like, say you get the keys to your grandma's car, for instance, myself. We'd go to Proctor Valley and smash on these, you know, their stock cars.
The
and
tracker.
just have so much fun, the tracker. R.I.P. to the tracker.
Dude, this is how you
but-
learn how to drive and stuff with minimal suspension.
First thing I jumped in.
Yeah, so like it's just like that. It brings you back to those like we shouldn't be doing this, but this is so much fun. This is awesome. Feels reckless, but semi in control. And me and Kevin have had numerous close calls where we thought we were cartwheeling at anywhere from 10 miles an hour to 65 miles an hour, and bicycled so many times and bumper, but she just keeps
Nose
charging.
wheelies.
Yeah.
When you watch the videos, it looks like it's just bouncing the whole time.
Yeah, just skip
Pretty
it,
much,
bumper
yeah.
to bumper.
Yeah, you want to make it to where you can go fast and stay on top of the stuff, and the chattery stuff is what shakes you alive. But like when you get to like those medium-sized whoops and you can stay on top for, you know, say a mile stretch, you can make up so much time. So we set them up kind of stiff to drive very aggressively. And that's what you have to do if you want to win races. Now there's a few guys that are coming up in speed, and I think we kind of set the pace a couple years ago, and everyone's been creeping up to that level. But it's so much fun. Not giving.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. The rallycross,
Yeah.
that was probably the coolest racing I've seen in a long time.
The bumper hook was great.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
bumper hook.
He was very
Really?
stoked that it happened too. Very
Dude.
happy.
Me?
Yes. You were thrilled.
I was stoked that we came undone, but at first I thought like I locked up a left rear,
This is just dragging.
and I thought it was just like, oh shit, but like we're attached, we're like Avatar, dude.
There's a different name for that.
Oh yeah. I don't know that term.
It's like you were docking.
Oh, what's that?
Can you demonstrate for us, Kevin?
What's the age that of people watching this?
What's your demographic?
Kevin
why
said
we're
it so
not
nonchalant too. Just docking.
It's when you park the boat.
Yeah, it's pulling your truck on the trailer, right?
Relax.
Okay, so how'd you guys all get together here? You said you've known each other for 10 years.
10
Plus?
plus for
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
Easily. Me and Kevin go back to when
We just grew up kind of
like
going to
15, 16
Landis
years
together,
ago.
Yeah, and hanging out at the desert and just parties, random friends of friends. We just knew each other all the time. Like grew up in the same
Yeah.
county, so
And then I moved to Canyon Lake and was working in Corona for Hart and Huntington PMG Motorsports, doing the short course stuff. And he'd come drop off all the fiberglass for all of our short course trucks.
Yeah, I worked for Fiberworks for a number of years doing, we did short course for a while, Pro Light, and then did trophy truck and 6100. So I was the main prep guy and co-driver with Fiberworks for a couple of years. And I ran into Blake a bunch there too, and he was dropping off parts for him, doing all the race car stuff too. So
Darby.
we both kind of traveled in the same direction, like out of high school, wanting to do off-road stuff and just building their own cars. And
Yeah, these are the old guys, by the way. Yeah, so they've been around longer.
Darby was the
How old are
plug
you?
for beer and stuff.
Just
back
turned
in the
31.
day.
I mean, you're in your 30s.
Just trying to have a good
I'm
time.
They're all-
27.
I'm just saying, I came in late. I wasn't even driving yet, and these guys were already building and shit.
27.
Yeah.
Oh, you're young.
I know I look
I
like
got 10
32,
years on
but
him.
it's okay.
10
Yeah.
years, but you guys look the same age.
Dude, he could be my dad.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So,
I mean, I don't know many 10-year-olds having kids, but
So I had this dial-up computer at home when I was like maybe 19 or something, and I was just getting into driving and whatnot, and this computer would make all these funny noises and take like an hour to load. And then I'd get on this forum called Desert Rangers, and that's when I came up and was like,
OG.
dude, there's like people building Ford Rangers and shit.
But you weren't scrolling that fast.
No, I was.
Yeah,
But the
that
computer
thing
was like,
That's pretty good.
Clicking the keys.
so when it would load, I would like sometimes stumble across like Kevin's post, and he was like had some I-beams on this Ford Ranger, and I was like, dude, just like that. And I was addicted from there, dude. Whoa. And I had to fucking have it though. So I scrolled on that for like hours and hours and hours on end, and then ended up like meeting this guy. There was like a night run or something out talking to Wells. And
night runs.
I don't know. I was just
Supposed to be
super
fun.
jealous of these guys' trucks, and I didn't have anything. I had a stock truck, so I just went out there. It took me like an hour and a half to meet them at Shell Reef, but when I made it, these guys were already slamming monsters and shit. And I was like, you guys are crazy. I want to be one of you guys. So here I am, fucking 11 years later, something like that, after getting my driver's license, and I was a late bloomer, I know.
Yeah.
Those 10-year plans go quick,
I got
though.
mine when I was 18
You
too.
didn't think you were going to
Yeah,
get this
here we
far
are,
along in
and
10 years?
You
now
built
I'm making
how many
suspension
trucks?
just like that. I'm on like 37 right now.
Garrett's gone through more vehicles than all of us.
With one currently.
Is that
broken.
that's your personal collection?
Yeah,
How many customer trucks do you think you've shuffled in?
over 100.
Easily. So he used to be out of Ramona, and then we were all in El Cajon,
Yep.
and now we're back in Ramona.
On that note, we're all like from the garage, like grassroots dudes that grew up with dad. Like, hey, can we fucking build our cars in your garage? Like begging for
Yep.
space to.
They didn't
to
really
do
ever
anything.
say yes. They're like, they're hesitant.
Usually they said no after the driveway was brown.
Dude, my dad still gives me shit because I was grinding on my first truck bumper I was making, and I didn't realize the sparks were hitting the window in the house. And to this day, he's like, "You gonna fix that window yet?"
Still?
Yeah. It was the first bumper I ever built with a 110 flux core welder from Home Depot, and I was like, with the hard disc grinder, just getting after it.
Put
And I was
flat
like,
spots
"Ooh,
in
looks
it.
great." I just ground off all the shit welds that I just did, and I was like,
But just like all the days of like cut off, like I remember like cutting my frame plating with a cutoff wheel and a flap disc. The same two that I still have to this day.
yeah.
So
If you haven't-
Makitas are the way to go.
If you haven't ground off shitty welds, you're not a fab guy yet.
Yeah, I think we all did 5 years or so in. 5 years in the garage, though. At
Oh,
least
yeah.
5 plus.
Yeah, I mean, my mom has
Takes a lot to get
videos
out of the garage.
of me
I got
welding
out and
under a
went back
tarp in the front yard because it was raining.
You were
and I
like,
just really wanted to work on my truck.
I was in for
Oh,
5, dude.
the
Got
rain
out for
stopped
1
me.
and went back in.
Yeah. But anyways, that leads to through all the off-road stuff. Me and Blake had known each other for a long time. He had a spot in El Cajon at TB Metalworks. Was where we kind of all came together 3-4 years ago. Must
Yep.
have been.
It's crazy how
He
things work.
was renting a little bit of space there, and I was like in between. I had my first shop in Mission Valley. It didn't really work out well. Was back at my dad's working out there, and then he was like, "Hey, hit up Tim. Might have some room for you." So
Yeah,
the
construction
rest was kind of
dude was moving out, and he was moving to a different location. So there was this other, like, 2-car stall spot, and I was like, I kind of wanted to take it over, but I didn't want that financial burden at the same time because I was trying to build, my new car, Megalodon, after selling the OG. And I was like, dude, I can't really afford it. I'm still working construction, doing HVAC. Like, I'm only there on the weekends and, like, at nights to, like, make all this shit happen. And So I didn't want to take it on. I knew Kevin had that shop over in Mission Valley by the trolley. I remember going there and seeing him drop stuff off for shooting the shit, checking the shop out. And I think that truck was in there.
That was it.
It was in there, yeah.
That's where it was last.
And then he came, talked to Tim. Tim's like, yeah, that dude's moving out. Here's the price. Like, this is all your section, your area right there. And we got some pallet racks and filled that shit up quick. And then
Too quick.
Darby's the homie. He's always had off-road toys and stuff. He started cruising through, and then Garrett came through and started helping him.
Yeah.
Caleb was doing some stuff in Alpine. He'd come through and help and hang out, and then I found this location like 2.5 years ago, and I've been looking forever to purchase a freaking spot. It already had a shop. We expanded it both ways with some race wins and everything, and try to just, the rent money that I get from these guys, try to figure out how to make it better. Add asphalt, build it bigger so we have more room, and now we have way more shit than I ever anticipated, but it's all cool shit.
Did you ever figure you'd fill up 2 acres this fast?
We made more room yesterday. We can fit 4 more vehicles in here now.
No.
Oh no.
Oh no.
But it's awesome because this is still a big nut for me every month, like the mortgage and shit, and it's like, over $6,000 a month, and shitload of interest for the spot, but it's something we all can share, and make it affordable for all of us to just thrive and work together, and it's cool. It's like these are all the homies that we've known. It's not like there's any drama or hidden secrets or they're not weirdos, so it's like
You guys don't ever butt heads in here?
Very rare.
very rarely.
I mean, we're buttheads in here, but that's about it.
There's a lot more laughing than anything else that goes on here.
If we do butt heads, it's like, no, dude, I bought beer yesterday. Dude,
Or
you're such a
you
punk.
drank all my beer last night, didn't you? Oh, the vape.
No, you can't hit my vape. It kind of speaks to the testament. You can't want to keep the money in the homie's hands. He's had a shop somewhere else. He's had a shop somewhere else. He's had a shop somewhere else. Everyone's given money out for so long. Mm-hmm. If we can all keep it here, now look at the things that we're capable of creating. Kevin can fully thrive. Garrett can fully thrive. Caleb can fully thrive. They're fully capable of hitting their maximum potential. That baseline's raising every single day, every single week, every single month. My builds that Kevin's helping me with are just thriving, and it's just to see the baseline with all the money and all the homie and the camaraderie just staying in. There's not a lot of butting heads, but it's just you just see things just that you don't ever really see ever. You go to car shows and you go to these events to see things like this that are now commonplace for us, and it's like, oh yeah, just multi-million
But
dollars worth
the
of
general
vehicles.
public has no idea what goes on behind the scenes.
General public
to
has
get
never
this
seen a
stuff to happen,
$3,000 shock.
You get an idea. I'm just saying,
A $3,000 shock? They're like, what do you fucking mean a $3,000 shock? Oh yeah, 8 of them. Wait, what? You put 8 on your car? They're like, yeah, what do you mean? And you're like, oh, that's a good deal though. You're like, what? Oh, I'm not crazy, am I? But yeah, it's just one of those things where now the baseline is higher now, and now everyone's able to thrive and achieve that maximum potential. There's a jig table, there's a plasma table, so many supporters and
We all brought
sponsors.
tools to the table too. So another thing is tools. You could spend $100,000 on tools to outfit a shop, and we've all bought
need to
used
spend
stuff, and most of it's all used, old stuff. Bandsaw, drill press, lathe, mill, plasma table was new, but we all pretty
Right,
much
CNC.
share all of our own stuff,
Yeah,
or all
we
of our tools
kind of all
together.
collaborated on that one. All brought our own I got this, you got this, and then put it together, and wow, boom, there's a shop full
Full-blown.
tools.
Yeah, I even brought some extra tools for my house because I'm like, I'm not working as much for my house. I'm gonna bring an extra jack up here. I was gonna bring some extra jack stands because, dude, there's 18 cars. You're gonna use all the jacks. There's a lift. You're gonna need them. Oh, you're pulling the motor too.
Speaking
Cool,
of
we need
which,
more.
we're out of jacks right now.
We got 100 jack stands and they're always missing.
There's 40 jack stands over there on a normal basis.
So if anyone wants to donate jacks and jack stands,
We need
Shred
jack
Quarters,
stands for
Ramona,
sure.
California. Thank you.
But it's cool
Drop a
to see.
comment.
There's a nice Pro Eagle right there not getting used.
She got used last night.
Yeah, look at the handle. It gets
Yeah, what
used.
happened to the handle?
Mint 400.
That was trying to fix the Class 11, right?
Man, 400, 2022.
That was when
You
they
should see
pull
the
into
other
the
guy.
pits without a wheel.
This is now a
and
pry
Kevin's
bar.
on the back of the
That
car.
was
Oh, front left.
Remember that
was the
docking we were
pry bar.
talking about? That's how you undock.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, this podcast is all over the place, but it's exciting.
But then that was a good time when you guys pulled into the pits. And there's not even a wheel on the front of the car.
Oh, and I'm on the back of the car.
And Blake's like, nah, I think we're gonna call it.
You were riding a wheelie?
Poppy shows up.
I was
and Poppy goes,
it.
fuck that, we're finishing the race. Get in the car.
Get in the car.
We're wrecked, dude. We drove 15 miles with no front left corner of the car.
And got stuck like 3 times. Had to fucking lift the car out of the freaking sand.
It was heavy.
The bottom of the rod end on the shock was gone.
It's on top of the toolbox over there.
Should we get it?
Grab it, yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
That was, and that I'm surprised.
Trophies from all the experiences.
Oh yeah.
And then the other side broke the shock tower after we got it fixed, so we had to finish like 40 miles without a front right shock, and it was just clacking.
It somewhat held up, right?
Yeah,
I mean, as long as the bolt was in
It
there.
didn't fall off.
pretty impressive.
I actually
Because
raced
you
the
can't
next
push
day
through
with
it.
it. So I had
true.
no front right shock. The shock tower broke, so we're like, all right. So then the left side, since we fixed it, I ran that King shock with that eyelet in a short course race and won against like eight or nine dudes.
King Shocks, tell your friends.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
as long as that thing don't open up, it'll stay in there.
a good one.
She earned her a keep.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We used the parts
Garrett,
till
do you
they're
want
done.
that for a shift knob in one of your vehicles?
Yeah. That should be a wall hanger on a trophy or something, though. That'd be cool.
I should hang this up with my Mint 400 finisher badge.
Yeah.
There you go.
We still got fourth with having a front left corner. We got a couple flats.
With only 3 corners of a car.
We also broke a rocker arm. So
Oh, yeah, that was
we
our
only were
first.
running 3 cylinders. So like going through the sand, we're just having to stay pinned in first. Luckily it was an intake valve, so it wasn't an
Overheating.
exhaust valve to where it's just still sucking every stroke. But
Garrett's trying to figure out what he can make with that.
we've had some wild adventures. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
since we've all known each other, it's like the hoodest of hood rat shit at the desert you could think of. Like, we've probably done it.
The Indian. And
Never.
then I was singing the 1835 Hood Rat Net, Urban Mega Huck.
Like,
We're just, yeah.
We're just
I think a
There-
perfect
yeah.
example is Garrett. When I met him, he said, "I'll never ride in it if it doesn't have a cage." He wouldn't ride in my truck. I've ridden in more sketchy vehicles with this fucking guy that didn't have cages or anything, and like skipping over whoops and like, dude, we just
Well, we
cleared
bought the
3 of
Bronco.
those things.
The
Yeah.
Bronco was a
Kevin
jam,
drove that
dude.
one night.
We
We're
did
just
time
like,
trials. I
"Roll
was
up."
throwing the keys around, going, "I bet you can't beat my lap." It's a
How
stock
many-
Bronco.
How many monsters did you have before that?
17 monsters.
Dude, that thing was poking a hole in
Nothing
the
beats
side
the
and
blue
everything.
truck. The stock
That was the
single
green.
cab. Was it green?
Green.
Oh, the
Stock
one he
single
blew the
cab
coil
green
off of?
F-150 OBS. Like,
Dude, bought that truck for
I think you
500
welded like
bucks.
U-bolts onto the coil springs and
Yep.
like lifted before we went out. And you like jacked
Yeah.
it up and welded some of the coil springs.
So the coil bucket on one side was fucking bent up, and I put like a tube from like the frame to the coil bucket to keep it kind of just where it was. And then we did like U-bolts and stuff and bolts, just whatever was on the ground, just welded it to the coils to get it to have the front end a little higher. I welded the coil to the bucket so it didn't come out.
I think you welded like square tubing to the top of the beams to
I
be like
did.
some sort of bump
for
stop.
a bump stop. We lost out on like the
But
first
anyways,
3 whoops.
he's like, we go out there to our normal spot off at TOLs. He's
This
like,
is how you learn how to drive, by
he's
the
like
way.
riding this
Yes.
thing with me. I'm like, hell no.
Dude, you learn how to
He's like
wheel
riding this
something.
thing. I'm like, fine. I get in it. We were just kind of skipping around, coming back towards these guys over. We hit a couple of whoops. It's nighttime, and we hit a good one. It just kind of like pops, and we're like, douche. And we look up, we look at each other, and we look at the coil spring is like
Okay.
floating in front of the head. And we're like, what the hell? And then come back down like,
He's making this sound so mild. This is a walk in the park right now.
it was a walk in the
No,
park. dude.
we were like 17 plus 17 more and monsters in.
Ah, dude.
And we drove this thing all day. My buddy Matt Cruson was in the passenger seat, and we're hitting whoops down this random dirt road.
Oh,
and they're like
jeez.
this big, but it's like just all over. It's a bone stock truck on 37s with bolts welded to the coils. And then he's like, "It doesn't like it." So I'm like, "Oh, the motor mounts were broken off already." So I put a ratchet strap over the motor, but the ratchet strap would break once in a while. The stick would be slapping you in the leg, and it hits him, and we're like, "Ah!" Damn good time. Anyways, nighttime rolls around. That's when the other 17 came in. And we were hitting this lake bed loop. That was just like a figure 8 kind of out there. And we'd come back to the hill, laugh about it, and someone else would jump in and do their thing. Well, I was like, Kevin, let's go. And I was like, Kevin, we'll have fun with this one. I already been giving like the average Joe ride, but you need to get in something like
You have
this.
a little track going?
Yeah, it's burned in already.
He gets
Yeah.
me in the car and he gets a little excited.
Dude, that thing hit 7th gear. Anyway, so we're freaking going like 45 in this stupid thing. And the battery is all like strapped to the motor at this point. Anyways, we come into this bump that I've been hitting at like 30, and Kevin's in it. And I'm like, we're hitting this baby full speed today. And we launched, and we hit the first one and did like a double bounce, and then hit the second one because it was kind of like a rhythm. And yeah, we freaking pogoed off that thing, like skied it. Yeah.
Don't forget
And
the
the coil
best part
spring.
about
We're,
all of
so-
this.
we're
So
both
we're like-
consciously like,
I wanna
that's
say
the coil
honestly-
spring, like in the air. We're like, that's, you see that?
Simultaneous.
Yeah.
Honestly, we're like 4 feet in the air in a stock truck, bounce off this thing, and we had enough time to go, oh shit, the coil spring, and it was like floating with us in the air, and we were like, shit. We came down, and it's actually kind of nice.
And I
Because the
think the-
37 just
yeah.
ate the rest of the.
I think the
finger roll.
37 just ate the battery, and that was what absorbed the
The
impact.
battery bumps up.
Because the battery was hanging out of the fender.
So the best part is we get out, we're like rolling on the ground, dying, laughing, having a just great time. I bought this thing for $500, and I planned on just leaving it there. And this guy comes over from a camp, and he's like, dude, I got some monsters you want? And I was like, heck yeah, dude. And he's like, I got a jack too. I was like, we're gonna need it. And then we got like a block that he had in the bed of his truck and put it there where the coil spring was, and drove this thing back to camp somehow with the battery hanging on the ground. It was dragging. And it was like an hour-long ordeal putting that thing back on the block. But yeah, we've had some great times driving some stock stuff.
That's what
And
I'm
then
talking
you
about.
can really learn how to wheel, because you know when you get that thing a little out of hand, you're like, give more gas and straighten it out.
So clearly, you don't need to
Yeah,
spend
Garrett,
100
you want
grand
to tell everybody
plus.
what you did with that truck
You
afterwards?
gotta-
Oh yeah, I put a coil back in it and sold it for $1,000.
That was car number 18.
That is not the first time either.
New ratchet strap over the door.
No, he didn't need that. He wasn't gonna drive it like I did.
He was going, he didn't need that ratchet strap.
Garrett's the king of
That's what
doing
you sell
things
for
to things
professional
and then
drivers
flipping
on a
them for
closed
way more
course.
money than he should have.
Yeah.
That's the thing though. You gotta start small. You
Hustling.
gotta work your way up. You know. And even if you have something really gnarly, it takes the fun out of it. You're like,
And
Cool.
it adds a lot of, it
Fast.
adds more stress. That's why I love this class 11. Bringing it back to the days like that when you just get to beat the hell out of something, and if it breaks, it's affordable.
You know you're gonna be all good. All good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sketchy driving my truck. I don't got sponsors. I can't afford to break it. You know.
Yeah, it's like the TT King of Hammers.
Yeah.
You had some issues, right?
Yeah, and it wasn't bad issues to where it like was super detrimental and really costly. It was we hit a rock doing like 95 in the back by the power lines, and it wasn't there when we pre-ran it. It got like moved into the lane. It's like 2-lane, and there's rocks on each side and down the center. Nothing super big, but there we found this one that was the size of a basketball that we hit coming off this little floater, and it blew the inside of the wheel apart and wrapped a bunch of the steel belting from the inside of the bead that caught like the Schrader valve on the Willwood calipers and wrapped it around the axle like 100 fucking
Rip the
times.
brake line off.
Snap the caliper.
Brake line, caliper,
Broke the rotor.
rotor.
Rotor, I mean.
So we were able to fish it out of there and then limp it back, but we just called it because we only had front brake. We turned the bias off, but you know, going into that, it's stressful. That's like my life savings that I'm going to literally abuse the shit out of in the
Drive
desert.
as fast as you can.
I believe you guys
through the gnarliest
also didn't
stuff.
have communication, so that was a little sketchy too, right?
We did lose comms. So
Kevin
he's
said it
doing
was a little scary sometimes coming into turns.
Yeah, I'm still going. I'm
We were
still
just
hauling
doing that.
ass.
I'm just like waving in
like
front of his
blinking,
face,
looking at you.
like this way, this way.
No rear
It's
brake.
like, "Put your arm up." I can see.
I got this.
when you see him go,
Wait, which way is that?
we're dying.
Yeah. But I mean, we were running like fourth or third out of like a ton of dudes. We passed dudes left and right, and we were so stoked. And Rock took us out. Otherwise, it would have been pretty rad finish. But whatever. That's our second race. We're still saving up some cash to go dabble with it more. But just
That's only the second race for the TT?
Yeah, second like legit big race. But
When's the next one?
Tough trucks.
Tough Trucks? Is this guy here before Tough Trucks?
we did.
Well,
Tough Trucks, Del Mar Fair, don't miss it.
Yeah, we got the Terror Crew thing.
I was gonna say you can come out this weekend and see
The
it,
class
too.
11's gonna win buggy class.
Are
Heart.
any of you guys racing this weekend?
Yeah, I think we're all going. Well,
I'm not
I'll
going.
probably be there to make
Come
sure
on,
if anybody needs anything fixed.
This guy's gonna pick up a
I want that
$500
thing
truck.
to
Yeah, we need everybody
Phoebe,
to
dude.
talk him into going. He needs to go. He's got a beautiful truck sitting out there with a nasty V8 in it. Just saying, drive me.
Super grumpy
He
because it
hasn't
doesn't
even
get driven.
taken it in the dirt yet.
What?
I was just gonna go get
not-
coffee
yeah, we
with
hit
it on
the Kmart
Saturday or
jump.
something.
Drive to
See?
Julian.
Again, that's where it's like, dude, you could sell this one shock and buy like 3 of these Rangers.
Yeah, I don't know.
Garrett
I
will
just
just sell
have,
a
like,
door and buy a Ranger.
for some reason, I'm just like enjoying it, just what it is, and just driving it around town, and
Yeah.
I don't know, just enjoying it.
It's
just being
clean.
simple right now.
And it's the most valuable.
I'll definitely
be
be at Tough Trucks though. That's like the best race in the world.
That's way sketchier than what we're doing.
I
at
know, that's
Terror.
all.
I'm
Yeah,
aware.
I'm like, Kevin gets on 2 wheels every tough trucks.
I'm aware.
Kevin always gets on 2
I
wheels.
love
He
Tough
does.
Trucks though. That place is
Every
so
truck.
much fun. I don't know why. It's just like nasty little fucking tire rippers. You're like, give me some.
Yeah, just a section where it's just like, and the
Tough
trucks
trucks
are up.
is like the only thing that we could actually have as a competition growing up because like we weren't in races, we weren't in score or any of these things, and we had a bullshit truck or something. We're like, but Tough Trucks,
Dude,
There's
that-
a time, there's a racetrack, and there's other people.
That was like a dead
on.
That was like a deadline when I was
And there's,
Deadline, yeah.
and there's 22 McNeils to compete against.
22.
That was like the thing. It's like not Ivan Stewart to beat the Bob either. It's like Mark McNeil and the freaking.
I remember when Dan Vance used to do the Tough Trucks, and he would just take his little Toyota and just air the start finish so far. And now you're the one that does that.
You still, I feel like, hold the gnarliest sky wheelie to date at Tough Truck.
In the Toyota? Dude, I
Picture with dirt.
I broke my transmission from pushing the leaves forward, and the tranny plunged in so far because I landed like this, and the wheels, instead of going in this way, went forward. Boom!
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that was like around like what, Desert People 8 time?
Yeah, maybe 3.
God.
I rolled my, I had an I-beamed single cab Chevy, an old C20, and I fucking rolled it there. I drove it there, rolled it, kicked the windshield, got out, did a cartwheel, drove it off the track, kicked the windshield out, and had a pair of goggles behind my seat, and I drove it home with goggles and glass flying in.
This is that goggle time I was talking about earlier.
Yeah,
he
he
hasn't had a
mentioned
windshield since.
Straight up, yeah, none of my shit has
Yeah.
windshields.
No,
anymore.
none. I'm like serious.
Yeah.
Something about Tough Trucks just brings out the wild in you.
His balls grew 3 times that day.
So what's your goal with TT?
I mean, it's
Race-wise.
like, it's have
Win.
fun, you know. I mean, if it starts becoming more stressful than fun, then it's not so much fun anymore. But I mean, we get to go do 4 times the amount of events with it that like a normal trophy truck program would do. You know, they're racing.
Because you're not racing?
Yeah,
All
they're
the time?
racing maybe 4 of the score races a year, and maybe dabble in a couple stateside, so like maybe 6 races. Where last year, I did 36 events, not all of them with the TT bug, but did a lot of them. Some of them demos, some just parking lot hangouts, to where people can see the fruits of our labor and what we do and produce here. And he's engineered to like let them see it, touch it, and see like the content that we're pumping out, having fun. And it's like, we want people to be able to relate to us having fun, building cool shit. Yeah, maybe it's a tier above what they have or they're capable of, but if you can come and rip the same track as like what we always want to do with the McNeils at Tough Trucks, it's like we're trying to do that and lead by example with what we grew up doing, having fun with on like a bigger scale. But yeah,
This
just
is
have
what
fun.
that small stuff can lead to. If you like Garrett, like you guys just stayed dedicated. Kevin decided to start drawing one day. If you don't stop, you decided to. I remember you were over at Kurt's. You're like, I'm gonna build something crazy, this gnarly bug. I was like, what? Like 3 days later, you and Farmer already had the whole chassis built up, and I was like, holy shit, he's building a big ass bug. Like this thing's gonna be gnarly. Then I saw the front end, I was like, oh my god, it looks like a spider. It's about to take over. And then all of a sudden, Urban Assault came out, and I was just like, dude, this kid's gonna fucking make some waves. And then he got linked up with Kevin, and I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be gnarly. And then all of a sudden TT Bug came along, and I was like, dude, Well, what's after TT bug? Like it's like basically the pinnacle of the
There's more
drive
coming.
bug.
the what?
The 4-wheel drive bug.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, Fern talked about the next build.
We want to do a 4-wheel drive solid axle, just a very like.
Oh, don't be
Capable,
surprised if
right?
Fern shows up. He said he might be showing up.
Yeah. All American Sender called me too.
That would add probably like
Oh,
another
man.
hour to
Talk
this.
about friggin' stock mobbing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I
the
think
boys.
I think it's cool though what you guys do because it shows and maybe motivates people that they can be like Twitch or Axel Hodges of off road. You know, you can go out and make a living off of having fun with your trucks. Obviously, it's a lot of work to get to that point, but
I kind of
It's
deem
possible.
it a freestyle off-roader because
Yeah.
like Twitch is a freestyle motocross guy. He's not in there racing like Chad Reed, and Blake is like a freestyle off-roader. Yeah, he can go race and he can go do all that stuff, but guess what? He can do wheelies and do fun stuff too. Where these other guys are like, no, we don't do that. We don't do the fun stuff. We don't do the cool
I
stuff.
feel like
We just race, stay in our program.
I
4
think a
races
lot of the racers
year.
are older guys too.
Yeah, it's
aren't
like
And they got some. I mean, I have some really solid sponsors, but usually they have some other sort of business asset, or they've already like proven themselves where they have the financial backing to do so. And I have a ton of awesome sponsors that help so much. Like, I do some stuff for other people, but mainly it's just focus driven on prepping, making sure I'm ready for these gnarly events and
36 a year is a
endeavors.
lot.
Yeah,
That's
and
crazy.
races and just collaborations with products with Shreddy and like other partners to try and provide like an ROI and my value. So like when I'm away from the shop, I can't like for like extended period of time. I can't wait to come and hang out with the bros, talk some shit, and just build stuff and listen to music, turn wrenches, and my phone all set on the toolbox for a few hours because
Like you
it's
used to.
like, yeah, like. But it's like a blessing getting to go also to these events, meet new people, and vibe, and try to drag these guys around as much as I can to come experience things, do a summer shred tour with me, like Kevin's done a few of those, and
That shit looks fun.
just share the ride.
We
But
almost
it's
went last year.
yeah, it's cool to be able
Midwest
to
Dirt Fest.
keep it fun, have fun, but still, if we want to go compete at that level and do our best, we just haven't.
Didn't you guys bring
Done
home
it
some
yet.
tattoos from Midwest Dirt Fest?
Oh.
Like every summer shred tour, we get a new tattoo.
So what's up with this year? You
Are
got
they
one planned?
matching tattoos?
I got the tire with a wheel and the wings because tires are either gonna kill me or I'm gonna die spinning them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And Kevin got
Yeah, I got this is a 2-year collaboration. I just had the Q outline first. It's like company logo, and then I added some little desert scene and cactuses to it this last year in Sturgis. Actually, that's where we ended up getting our tattoos.
That's
I
tight.
think
Sturgis
Evan
Rally.
from Black
Sterile
Hat got his
needles at
first
Sturgis.
tattoo on the tour. Bam Bam's gotten one. Will got his first tattoo this year on the tour, and it's kind of cool.
Gotta get Baker next.
Oh yeah, you gotta get a little Baker.
Does he have any tats?
I don't
I don't
think
think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta get him one.
We just kind of wing it too. We're like, what the hell are we gonna get? I think Will got some of Black Hat's artwork, so that's cool. But
He
yeah,
has
it's
some
just cool.
gangster filmers, by the way. Both those guys.
Dude, there's a lot of dudes that have stepped it up, but Baker's been full time with us for a while now. He kills it. Will, he's on another level. I think he's full time with Heatwave now. Both those dudes, they do so much, man. It's crazy. They're just like us, though, and a different skill set. They're passionate about it. They started out with shitty cameras, taking pictures. They didn't have the nice shit that they do now, but it's no different than our role. They're just in a little different category.
It's on the back end. They're a whole like inventing and time frame. It's like, dude, they're putting 10, 20 hours into editing where you're like, you were there for an hour. No, you guys put 24 hours into that, and it shows, the people that put the time into it, like those transitions and how the frame is super clear all the time. Like, they got some crazy shots.
Yeah.
Shout out to the filmers.
Yeah, those are the guys that make us look cool on the internet,
Thank you guys.
It's
We're
crazy.
not as cool as they make us look. That's for sure.
I've worked with Will and Baker a couple times.
Fake it till
and
you make it.
The stuff always comes out great.
Speaking of, we have Urban Assault 3 in the works.
When's that?
In August, we're going to drop Urban Assault 3, kind of leading to like the from the filmers to the fabrication of things and just the freestyle of off-road. We have Urban Assault 3 coming. Tijuana, Mexico. We were down there. Kevin was with me. We were down there for 5 days on set shooting, and we were down there for a total of 8 days, but it took a year to make, and it was a stretch because we don't have big, like the Hooligans, for example. They have
Production.
dudes that can just straight spearhead this. We had to like navigate, find different departments to approve it.
Yeah, how do you
And,
figure out all that stuff down in Mexico before going down there?
Well, Michael from the Baja Bug movie, he made a lot of connections. Poncho helped us drastically, and then found out, through the Board of Tourism after having a meeting with them and several other departments, and like lining that up after a long time. But it basically took over a year from the concept, the first scout, to the shoot date. It was over a year. Now we got a couple months of post, but
Was it pretty
sick.
fluent once you got down there?
Yeah, for
Surprisingly smooth, honestly.
Like-
Or-
we got away with a little more than we anticipated.
But it's
you got,
Mexico.
I always got to push it to the limit.
Yeah, you guys are definitely pushing it.
yeah, which I don't know if that'd be better or worse to get in a lot of trouble.
How many times
me and
do
Zach
you
get
guys get
arrested.
talked to by the cops?
Like on a serious note, the only time it happened
Was
when
when
we were in
Kevin
trouble was
Got in trouble, right?
maybe.
That has nothing to do with urban assault, though.
Another story for another time.
The shoots and ladders.
Literally.
Definitely.
But yeah, so you did some gnarly jumping down there. I was trying to make it down there, but I didn't get to make it. Kevin was like, dude, we're down here. It's going to be so sick. You need to make it down. I'm like, I got to prepare for these other events. But yeah, I was watching the stories. It looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah, the teasers are pretty sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've just done pictures, teasers, but there's so much stuff that we can't use because like there's another shooter in it, or like it's a little blurry, like. But there's, Kevin's riding the donkey when I'm through. That's a sick clip. I seen that one.
Did you see the
other
clip?
day.
I just saw the pictures.
Oh, dude,
Michael
you're
sent me a
pumped.
That's awesome.
But
Yeah, it's going to be tight.
You guys are drinking monsters down
I imagine
there,
the
I'm sure,
kids
too.
down there were probably super pumped, huh?
dude, the whole like culture and everyone down south was like stoked. We'd come through their neighborhoods and be like, ask them to move cars and stuff like prior to like when we were filming, give them a few days in advance. We're gonna be coming here, and they would move the cars and they would invite like their family, and they're hanging out drinking beer,
Cooking
barbecuing and shit. And we're like, this is perfect. Like, you guys all stand right here. We're gonna put a camera over your shoulder. Like, this is real and this is raw right now.
We're
This
chilling
shit
in the
ain't
yard
staged.
watching it.
And they were just stoked. There wasn't one person I feel like we pissed off down there.
No, there's no
Except
one
for
was
like a
grumpy
bum
at
that
all.
was
It's-
tweaking
Well,
hard.
they've probably only ever seen like the BJ Baldwin videos or nothing at all.
Recoil,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
So, and like, it was cool. Like, there was some leaks that got on TikTok that have like 6-7 million views.
Like
already.
same day as it was going on.
Pretty much the
Yeah.
same week. And I had to try and do damage control because shit started to kind of like pop up once a couple of them did. And it sucked because it's like some shitty cell phone clip giving away some bangers. But I'm excited for that. And these guys all played a role in that, whether it's helping load up the ramps on the trailer, move shit around. Like, I couldn't do this shit if it wasn't by myself because some of the shit's heavy. So, like, having these dudes here, they don't know it, but it's like, fuck, dude, it's a blessing to have the homies be able to help.
We kind of come together at times like that. Like, I remember the day before you left, you're sitting here welding those ramps, and I'm like, I'm sure there's something better you could be doing right now. Let me finish that up for you,
Dude, I was running 1,000,000 miles an hour,
Dude, it's never ending.
wrapping the truck, but
Everything.
2 days before with a new body and mounting, and dude, it was crazy. But yeah, the boys always step up and pull through, and I mean, yeah, it's pretty much what
Pretty
the Shark
wild.
Den's
You looking
about.
forward to Urban Assault 3?
Fair trade-off. You do
You
a lot
looking
for
forward to
us.
Urban Assault 3?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
You gonna wear the shirt?
You seen the
The Urban
have you seen the
Assault
preview
shirt?
yet?
Yeah.
I didn't even know there was a shirt.
There isn't,
Michael showed
but there
you.
will be.
I'll wear one. Yeah.
I like
Haven't
the
seen the
sound.
preview? No, that's
No, I was asking if he got the special preview. Of
We'll
it
show
yet.
you after, unless you want to watch it right now.
Yeah, we could just get your reaction.
You'll be the first reaction clip? Sorry, camera, you can't see this.
So this was a quick clip cut that we did to try and also motivate and show a couple of sponsors like, hey, this is super raw. This isn't, the final. It's gonna be much more fine tuned from from where we're at, but I'll show you this real quick and you can get your.
Try that, dude. Hey, let me try that.
But
This is when you'll just clip to that technical difficulty elevator music.
This is when everybody just like turns around.
Yeah, put something funny on.
You can vape.
Oh,
You can
God.
vape. That's what you do here, right?
No, I don't vape.
This guy.
Hey, let me try that thing, dude.
God, it's gotta be somewhere in there.
You can try it next, Kevin.
I had to break the ice. Everyone's sitting around like,
You just gotta stare blankly at the camera.
Dude, I think everybody at our shop vapes. And we're trying to do it one day where everybody just goes cold turkey.
yeah, that's me.
It'd be cool if we
Do it on
did
Monday.
Just to see what happens with
So we
everybody.
can have a fight.
See, what we need to
I've quit 5
This out or
times.
what?
No. That's
I've
what
Well,
quit 5 times, dude.
What we need to
I'm
do
like, I'm
here
done.
is
And then they're
have
all
a
smoking
day
around me,
where
I'm like-
Blake can't ask us to try that thing. Blake is the worst. If Blake makes eye contact with you, he's gonna go, "Hey, let me try that thing."
Hey, let me try that thing.
Dude, I was gonna say we need to start like a fund right there on the wall, just like a bucket. Just put $1 in every day or something, so everyone can just go like share one. Come out, you buy a couple, I'll buy
There's
a couple.
been talk of putting lines in the shop that you can just walk up to and hit.
Nope, we don't vape.
No.
Nope. Nope,
I don't
we do
vape.
not.
Darby vapes. Let me try your vape.
So you guys, do you guys have any goals of like getting your own shop one day? Or are you guys happy?
I had my own
Pretty good.
shop for 2 years. It was cool. I'm gonna buy my own house and kind of like do this setup. I got 13 cars. I got a bunch of 3-wheelers. I got my own projects. I like this idea. A shred quarters is ideal. 4 or 5 car bay.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm old. I don't need to be working,
You have
paying
a
someone
lot of
else.
life left.
Yeah. Well, in the sense that if I don't start building more equity besides cars, then it's really just going to be almost unattainable. I want to be like able to get in and like get stuff done within the next 10 years. Because
Well, I mean, you might need to change the mindset a little bit. You told me earlier you can't jump a house, so why buy a house?
but I got the truck already.
Yeah, I mean,
So now I can buy the house and jump it with my truck.
There you go.
Can't jump a car.
I mean, as far as me, I mean, I did the shop thing, and then this works out better because, like I said, we're all better together. We can get things done faster.
got
Everyone
extra
wants a
hands.
shop until you
Things
find people you
together.
work good together with, and you're like, all right, we're just slamming shit out.
Dude, we'll have dance parties in the middle of the day.
Oh,
like,
man.
If the song comes on,
When
you'll
Club
look
Wilkey
over.
starts, it's a good time in here.
Oh, dude. When I start getting hyphy, dude, I break it down.
But it's the zone. You got to get in the zone. It's got to be fun. You got to make it fun again.
There, you can hold on to that.
Dang, you guys are missing this right now. Dang, that sucks.
The
Gonna put in that
anticipation.
clip where they're like, dang!
So we had,
That's the fresh body.
yeah,
Right?
we had Reef Creative down there. He had his car rig. We had Zach Visser down there from Fast House Productions or Fast Pack Productions. We had Kyle from HP Tuners. He came through. Michael Squire, he helped direct it. He liked that. That was sick. That little slide right
Yeah.
there. Dude, that bank was so intense.
The one where it's like, dude, it's like straight down.
Dude, that was kind of sketchy, huh? When we were looking at it, we were like,
Dude, it's
and then we did it, and then I did it, and I was like, this thing just ate it.
yeah, but
technically the
those are
truck
some
should be able to
serious
take it.
Urban Assault 1 vibes
But
right
there's like,
there.
yeah, straight up, like so much raw stuff.
That's how I feel about Kevin's builds, though. I'm like, it technically should be able to do all the stuff that I want it to do.
You paid
There's
the
only
police
one way
off
to
for that?
find.
Just gonna go as fast as I can into it.
We gave him beef
Whatever.
jerky.
Yeah,
Jerky? Anyone? Jerky?
this was sick. This was right on like Revolution Street. There was like 300 people. Look at the crowd, dude. That was raw. That was real.
Like some
Those-
grandma over there, she's freaking.
yeah. Ready? Watch this. Whap.
So sick.
And this is just like, he put this together in like, a couple hours to show kind of the sponsors, hey, this is done. It's shot. Thank you very much. This is only a very quick, raw cut. Obviously,
How long is the
audio-
actual video going to be?
He said it could be as long as 10 minutes, but we're going to try to condense it a little bit more.
Dude, where do you find all these spots?
Scouting, dude.
Nothing,
I'm
nothing.
telling you, we
I'm
scouted
saying, but
down
there's
there.
so many roads and stuff in Mexico.
I know. and we just
I don't know where you're.
yeah. And there's more
Oh, I
than what
see.
you're gonna kind of get a quick clip of.
Nobody.
It's epic right there. It's cool.
I think I
Need
can hear
some
the
of these
music
lights
on
from
this, so we might want to turn it down for
Yeah, right?
monetization.
These things are bright.
They're kind of expensive though.
Yeah, you
Type. Bug life, dude. Then we had a bunch of bugs that joined us to kind of show, like, hey, like, all bugs show each other love. Bug love.
Even the big bugs like the little bugs, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure stuff like this makes everything worth it, huh? All the
Dude.
hard nights,
Oh my
all
god.
the hours.
That was like Urban Assault 1 was like just like a dream come true to do on the streets of San Diego, punk rock, just like what we always did, and film it and showcase like the first big build that like actually was like gnarly and properly built. I mean,
We didn't know shit could go viral.
yeah.
Or you could get in trouble without asking.
You can get away with this one without.
We
getting
learned
in
a
trouble,
lot.
right?
Yeah.
That's sick, dude.
And that's just very rock. I think you guys have seen it now.
I haven't seen it yet,
I've seen
so I'll check it out later.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, dude.
Pretty tight. Dang, I'm like you guys. I haven't even seen it.
Yeah, Baker showed me some bangers. I was like, dude.
Yeah, but I mean that's like, I mean that's just we can do that with the help of sponsors and do projects like that easier than it is to be like, hey, we need X amount to go race this many races, because like we are the people, and the people that support us that we build trucks for, these are the consumers of like the parts. You know, when you go build a race truck, it's hard for like the audience to really correlate like, okay, this is a race truck, everything's probably way too expensive and way too gnarly. It doesn't even
There's no way to connect. It's not even.
coexist.
Yeah, it's not even
Yeah, money
relative.
wise, people hear like $1 million for a truck. You know,
$1 million and $100,000 is the same thing to them, because they're like, I would never buy a car like that.
Yeah.
That's retarded. I would never spend that much on a car. And you're like, it's not that bad. I see people buying F-150s for $100,000. You're like,
Right.
that seems like a fucking swing and a miss. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you're driving a Lamborghini for that much.
Yeah.
I'm like, what happened? So now with the equity they've just created, they're be able to make $500,000, $1 million cars just out of nothing, just from know-how now, and it's just kind of like
Awesome partners that see the vision.
well, you can provide it at a more realistic price
Oh,
and a more
for us,
realistic
yeah.
attainability. I don't know Mason Motorsports or Geyser or any like to get a Geyser truck. You're like, nah, that's never gonna happen. But I can get a Quixotic fucking TT.
I'm sure
Hell
it was
yeah.
always one of our dreams.
It is. It
Yeah.
is.
And
it's
one
like-
of my first
But
jobs
I
was
don't-
working at Raceworks.
I don't know if
wanted
I'd
one of
be
those trucks for a long
happier
time.
with a Geyser than a Quixotic build. I'm like, you know, like how much of your energy and your, you know, what you want to do goes into this, as opposed to, you know, you're getting a factory built, maybe, I don't know, like Mason or Tesco, they like have like 15 or 20 at a time. How custom are they? How one-off are they?
I feel like for us, it's way more rewarding. After every build, you know, you guys go test with the customer and you see their smile. You got to put your hands on it. You got to build it. Us, we got to design it. Kevin gets to drive it all the time. And it's just like, holy shit. Like, I thought of it. I gave him a platform. He designed it. We all, I'm sure at some point, shed a little blood on it. And, yeah, now
Inventing.
it's just like, here's what we're capable of doing, but they'll still take on damn near any job, you know, like that black truck.
Little
So
blood,
Matt-
blood, sweat, and beers. You can do anything, man.
The amount of work. I mean, so I've been working with Garrett lately, and we work pretty good together. We work pretty quick, and that is the fastest what would
Full
you-
rebuild.
That, I mean, yeah, rebuild. I
Full
guess is the way
rebuild.
to. We went through plenty of Sawzall blades. And
You only had to
cut
cut the
off
front, the back, and the
Flat
top
discs.
off.
We did cut the top off.
I know. It was just the front, the back, and the
And the
top.
front.
That's
Right.
just one
I told
example.
him-
We do this on a monthly and yearly basis. It's just tearing these things down and saving the Rangers, saving trucks in general.
I told him to start over. I was like, are you sure? And you're like, I kind of already committed. It's here. I'm
I
like,
think that's what I was put on this earth for, is save trucks. I started out just freaking building some random little shit here and there, and then escalated into like, oh, that one's real bad shape. Bring it in, boy. You're the one I want.
Well, no, he told me this sudden you're like, well, I didn't think this one was that bad.
Yeah,
But now, if you go look at it, it's friggin'
You would
sick.
never know that truck
great
was
now.
something else.
You put
It's
those
very
two side by
rewarding. That's
side.
like 90% of it for me. Is I just do it for the rewarding feeling at the end, and just be like, stand back and be like,
And I mean, the reaction
That's
of the
good.
customer
I mean,
makes it all
look,
worth it.
how
All
many
the hard
people-
work.
as long as you do it for the love, you can do some shit.
How many people thought they got something red and then found out they didn't? And they're like, oh, now I'm stuck with this?
That's why I'm here saving them all.
That would be Fern.
I thought I smelled bacon.
Yeah, all in all though, we're just a bunch of tall sock bros still, and came from the ground. You guys got your short ones on today.
You got your flower
I
socks.
see. There you go.
There we
There it
go.
is.
It was hot
These are
yesterday,
the
dude.
these are the roots. These are the roots.
I had to drive home last night in the rain. I knew it was going to be cold today.
We started out as bros. We're still bros at heart.
You know
but
you're at a fab
we've
shop and
come up a
everybody's got
little bit.
Vans and tall socks on.
and hats.
We're still
Flat
here.
bill.
All camo hat. Oh, we're not wearing. Oh, we are all wearing camo hats.
So guys, I didn't even see your guys' hats. That's crazy. Camo.
Oh man, Fern's got a truckload.
I didn't know it was supposed to be a forward hat
Hopefully he's
podcast.
got some of that beef
a new
jerky,
thing,
dude.
dude.
Fern's jerky is fire.
I'm hoping
It's
Fern
so
brings some of
good.
that bacon
So
jerky
good.
over here, man.
Dude, the carne asada one?
It's pretty good.
Oh, it's good.
Dude, I'm just going to throw some in a tortilla and just with some cheese.
Yeah.
Microwave. Fern's
I mean-
quesadillas.
All right, I'm out. I'm hungry.
No, I know you guys all have a bunch of stuff to do. Appreciate you guys taking your time away from
You're
your
good.
day.
No, we're having a
You're
good time.
good. It's all good.
This was a nice break, actually.
But yeah,
We'll sit down,
anything
like-
else you want to talk about?
At
Anything
first-
specific you heard about that you might want to put the rumors to rest? Any speculations? Any new builds that you want to hear about?
I mean, there's rumors of stuff, but not to do with this right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Don't be trying to start any rumors. What
I
are you
don't,
doing?
I don't know what he's talking about.
You guys want to drop your Instagram tags?
Yeah, I'm Darnell Designs on Instagram with 2 Z's.
Dr. Darby
Or alpha builds.
or
Alpha
Alpha
Builds.
Builds.
Yeah. Corrosive design. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I don't know how many Instagrams you got.
Both of those today.
Yeah, just corrosive _ design. That's me.
Fern's in the house.
Garrett Peterson.
So,
My Instagram is KevinQMS for Quixotic Motorsports. Quixotic Motorsports is my other Instagram. I don't use it much, so just KevinQMS is
Just
probably
don't
the
bother
best.
that one. You don't have
Get
to
a hold
look
of
at
me.
it.
Blake Wilkey 357. Just keeping it simple with my name.
Jeez, dude.
I
Fern got a
wanted to
haircut.
do a
What's
Wilkey
yours?
Works one, but yeah.
either Dweezy Films or LSK Suspension. Yeah.
Dude, why has everyone got two? I gotta
I
make
actually
another.
dude, I run like 6 accounts.
Okay.
It's too much.
Can't even keep up with one, dude.
That's why I put my phone down when I get in here on
Yeah.
the table every once in a while.
You guys do any YouTube? Any of you guys do YouTube stuff?
Yeah,
Just with him.
I got a YouTube.
Same as your Instagram?
Dr. Darby.
No, I'm pretty low key. I just work.
This guy's low key with his monsters.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shotgun
Garrett's got too
monsters.
many monsters to drink. He can't be doing YouTube.
I got some of those new Monster Beasts
Oh,
I think I'll shotgun
how
it.
come there's none of those in the fridge?
because they'd be gone in a day. They gotta keep
story.
those for the special events.
All right, well, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for taking time out.
Yeah, Shreddy
Yeah,
Life.
thanks for having
And then
us.
we'll be doing an episode soon with you.
I mean, yeah, if you want to
Whenever
do
we
one
can.
with all these guys, dude, one-on-one to hear their life stories. I mean, you heard a lot of our background with, how we came up and how we all kind of got to the Shark Den here. And these guys all have other rad stories and other endeavors that they've done growing up to get to their point of being in here, building some of the baddest shit on the planet. So, if you guys want to see more of these fellow hoodlums, yeah, just I guess drop some comments. This is pretty real. This is raw. This is who we are. We love this shit.
Welcome to the Shark Den.
Average
Yeah.
Tuesday. Just getting shit done.
On a Tuesday.
Yeah, at first, like I said, it was herding cats. Everyone spread out doing different things, and we sat down. And Garrett came over. He's like, "What's up?" And then he went for 10 more minutes. He came
Yeah, you
back.
left and came
so-
back.
And now they're stoked. Now we don't want to get up
Full
because
speed.
there's just so many good stories.
But I mean, I
to
think we
tell.
could all
We could
agree
do-
that, like, if you want stuff like this and you want it, don't stop till you get it. Like, never
Yeah.
give up.
That's what we've all
If you
done.
want something bad enough, you'll do it.
Yeah. Don't do it for the gram, but you can post it on the gram. That's fine. But do
Yeah.
it for yourself. Do it for the reward.
Find something you're passionate about
Yep.
and chase
Yeah.
it.
Do it.
We all did it before that shit even was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And hey, it's a good tool to advertise and showcase, like the capabilities of what we're all capable of doing and the fun that we get to have doing it, but that's not the whole purpose of why we do it.
Yeah. And all the crazy shit we've done is not on the internet.
Yeah, there's so much.
It's all up here.
And there's so much of our work that doesn't get posted.
So many.
The gram gets 5%.
Yeah,
That's all. That's reels only.
Yeah.
If you're our homie, that's when you see the fun stuff. See
follow
you at the Terror Crew event and see you at Tough Trucks.
Yeah. This guy just closed it out.
Nice. All right, let's go.